The following segment is a paid commercial program by Heritage Bank, member FDIC. It's time for Ask the Expert on News Talk 1340 and 96.3 FM, KWLM.
And it is time for Ask the Expert for this Wednesday edition of the KWLM Morning Show. And very glad to have in studio with us Lisa Martins, Treasury Operations Specialist at Heritage Bank here in Wilmer. Lisa, thanks for coming in today.
Well, thanks for having me.
Appreciate you coming out here on such a beautiful day. And as mentioned, it looks like we are going to talk about check fraud here today. And many business owners assume, Lisa, that check fraud isn't a big concern anymore. And, one would maybe kind of think that with more, everything going on plastic nowadays. But why do checks still pose a risk for businesses today?
Yeah, it's amazing. You would think everything would be on plastic, but people are still writing checks. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah, they do. Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
And so it's such a huge part of if you look at the fraud as a whole, debit cards by far are the largest, and check fraud follows right behind that. And between the two, they make up 70% of all the fraud that's happening in the U.S. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. And, but of course, now with, businesses writing fewer checks, but looks like they're for larger dollar amounts nowadays.
Yeah, that is what's happening. There are fewer checks, still a lot out there, certainly. But as time goes on, everything gets expensive and the amounts get larger and larger. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah. Now, when check fraud impacts a business, Lisa, what does it usually look like in real life? That's a good question.
Yeah, absolutely. It in some cases, it can be devastating, especially depending on the dollar amount. Of course, if it's a small dollar amount, but so even for a small business, a $10,000 hit can be, really devastating to them. Yeah. And let alone, I'm sure they don't sleep that night when they find out, oh my goodness, this check hit. What do we do? Who's at fault? Is it me? Is it the bank? Who's going to cover this?
And you feel so violated is the right word. You just feel you just don't feel right. It's like, wow, this shouldn't happen to me or basically our business.
Absolutely. No, a very good point. You feel that way. It is a violation. And actually the fraudster, it's nothing personal. They really don't care. They just want their money. They just get an account number and away they go. Yeah. So nothing personal to the person, but it doesn't feel that way especially when they're taking their hard-earned money.
Definitely. Yeah. Now, at least you're seeing more altered checks or stolen checks or fake checks, or kind of a combination of all three?
Really, it is kind of a combination of all three, and we see it all. But it almost seems like they'll steal the check, but then all they really want is the information, that routing and account number. And a lot of times they'll just take that information and it can just be a picture of the check. I know that that's why they always say, especially when you give someone your debit card or something like that, you need to follow them to protect that information to make sure they aren't taking a picture of it and selling it. Yeah. Well, it's pretty easy just to take a picture of a check. They say 9 people will see, when you write out a check, 9 people will see that information. And a lot of times they'll just take that information, whether they're buying it from who knows where, but they'll take that information and make a fake check. Wow. And a lot of times the information they'll have it like it may be your account number or KWLM, but I've seen where they'll put like a Subway on there, and it's not even the same business that matches the check, but it goes through, and because everything's so automated now. Sure.
And like you said, if it's the proper routing number and the check number, that's just it doesn't matter what the name of is on the check, and obviously they have the type of paper that you need. I take it to print out phony checks.
Right, because you can get that anywhere, probably, at any business shop. You can go down and buy a fake check. Well, not fake checks. They're legitimate, which company uses for their check stock. Yeah. And you can buy that or order that anywhere. And they're great. Yeah. I mean, the checks have, even when they say they have these safety features, if you put your thumbprint, well, you can imagine they're buying the same check stock as we are. Yeah. So,
Unbelievable.
So it is.
I didn't know it was that readily accessible, or accessible, I should say,
Yeah, even by mail. I mean, they can get it. It's everywhere. Wow. They can buy those checks. It is something.
Yeah. Now, is this something that's easy for businesses to miss at first? Or?
Oh, absolutely. Especially if they aren't checking their account every day. I would say to a business, the most I can tell you is make sure you're checking your account every day. That is really the most important part. That way you can see something. And it's not just checking your account and looking at the balances. Like we had mentioned earlier, what do we see, the altered check or things like that? It is actually, you'll have to pull up that check and make sure that someone didn't whitewash it. I don't see that a lot, but it is common. I have seen it where they take, when we mean whitewashing, it's basically able to take some chemical and the pay to the order of, they are able to remove that and put their name in or something like that. Okay. So that's what that means when you say whitewash. It's not like they put it in the laundry or something like that, but they do, erase that and make it to, they have fake IDs. They're able to go to check cashing places and even banks.
Wow.
And open up fake accounts and cash that check. Yeah.
Wow. Unbelievable. Yep. To educate ourselves, let's see, check out for checks intercepted or altered. And I guess, question, Lisa, are businesses able to take, like classes, or are they instructed on what to look for in cases like this? Or?
Yeah, that's a great point too, and kind of getting back to that too. The more education you have, the more you know in what the fraudsters are doing. Especially, I think, and we may talk about this later on too, is getting those text messages or those emails, and that states, "Hey, we changed accounts from your vendors. Hey, we changed accounts," and just being aware that that's probably fraudulent, and it's so easy to take somebody's letterhead there, they go on their website, those cut and paste. It's so easy to take that information and get it sent out to you, whether via email or just plain in the mail. There's one thing though, there are so many protections that you can take where you can make it at ease, and it's positive pay. I can't say enough about the technology today, both being used as bad, but being used as good. And that way you don't, if you're not in your office a certain day, you can go, I positive pay. If you put that on your account, it's like we alert you, the bank alerts you. Yeah. And how that's done is you would download your information to the bank, and then we just take that information and we attach. It's all electronically, and if something doesn't hit, that check number doesn't match the number or the dollar amount or who it's made payable to, we alert you, hey, do you want this paid or don't you want this paid? Yeah. And it's all electronic. And the one thing about it, let's say you're on vacation and you don't get the message, or you're out just enjoying yourself. It's going to be returned. And I think if you're going to err, let's err on return, even if it's something you wanted to pay. So
exactly. Yeah. I guess, Lisa, why do you think businesses have become such a common target for check fraud? Because I take it this has been on the uptick as we've gone on here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. A lot of times, I think especially with the fraudsters, they know which day you're out, and that's the day after Thanksgiving. People ask, well, what's the biggest, the time when people, it is the day after Thanksgiving. And a lot of businesses, they give a lot of their staff that time off after Thanksgiving, or they take that day off. And fraudsters know that. They know 3-day weekends. They know when you're out. What is the best time that businesses aren't paying attention. And especially those small businesses too. A lot of people think that, we're here in rural Minnesota. It's not going to happen to me. It's just the opposite. Because those fraudsters think, rural Minnesota, they don't have those.
Maybe don't check it as often or whatever have you. That might make him even a more attractive target.
Absolutely. That is exactly, that is spot on. Yes.
And we kind of touched on this, but bears repeating that, we're just talking about, businesses maybe training to see things that aren't right on their checks, but to manually review steps, basically on, how checks are written out and what to look for. Yeah,
that's a good point. And again, going back to that, just checking your account every day or putting on those fraud filters like positive pay. Yeah. That is absolutely. And again, that education piece, honestly, I'm with Heritage Bank, but if you reach out to your bank, say, hey, what are you seeing? Ask the banks. They're going to be happy to meet with you. I know.
Yeah, they'll tell you.
Absolutely. Yeah. We love talking to our customers about this. I love talking about fraud and educating our customers, and the things you see, it's crazy.
Yeah, and frightening, I would imagine.
Yeah, yeah, and it's almost like a puzzle piece. How did they get this information? It's kind of, I've been able to see some from the beginning to the end. I usually just get the panic when the customer, I've been hit. Oh no, what do we do?
We've got a problem. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And we get to talk to the police, but I never get to really see the person get caught or anything like that, because I just get one step of it. But every now and again, I'll get to see it from beginning to end. Rarely, but it's like a puzzle. And that's if they get caught. And most of the time, they're in foreign countries.
Yeah, I was just going to say, then it's the chore of catching them, and that's not easy to do, because, like you just said, I mean, and that's for debit cards, things like that too, or credit cards, usually from a different country. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, absolutely. And it's so easy too when we were talking about businesses, it's so easy to be a victim. I mean, just even think about your own mail. It's so easy. We all know that envelope with the window in it. They're pretty easy to pick out, those checks with the fraudster. Yeah. They can say, that must be a payroll check or a refund check or from a business. So,
and having carried the mail here not that long ago, I can tell, okay, this is this is it. This is a payroll check. I mean, obviously I wouldn't do anything, but I can tell, that's a. So, I mean, it's all important, but you can tell it's a payroll check.
Yeah. And it's interesting you bring that up about the mail. I was involved in a situation where, especially now, a lot of our mail goes to the metro area or St. Cloud.
Yep.
And this is one of the ones that I was able to find out, because it's so important when you do get hit by fraud like that, and especially when it's a check via mail, to report that to the Postal Service. We were actually able to track one in Minneapolis. It was a postal person that was selling.
Really?
Wow. That was stealing and able to do that. So it's interesting you bring that up. I'm sure it wasn't you, but it was in the metro. All the bad things happen in the metro, right?
But then like we were just kind of talking about, fraudsters exploiting gaps in oversight, and some of them obviously are much better at doing what they're doing than others, and hence it's tougher to catch them. There's something wrong. Well, this looks okay, but it's not.
Right, exactly, and that's why it's just not a matter of even pulling up your account. Make sure you're looking at it. Make sure who you wrote the check out to, that's who it's made payable to. So
Lisa, are there any big time red flags that business owners can see, or they should obviously watch for before fraud becomes a bigger issue? Or
again, it bears to be repeating. I think I've probably already said this about 10 times. It's really check your account. I can't say that enough. If something's going through, and using those fraud filters, use this technology to your advantage. And a lot of times, I know a lot of us we think this really is like insurance. And gosh, we hate paying those insurance premiums. I'm like everybody else. You hate changing it. But when something happens, when you're in that car accident or something happens to your house, you go, oh, I'm so glad I did that.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the positive pay, it is so reasonable. It is very reasonable. And in a lot of cases, the companies don't even have to pay for it for whatever with their banks and things like that. I just can't reiterate enough about just protecting yourself. It's better. It's so much better to be proactive than reactive.
Very much so. Yeah. Now, Lisa, also, I think one big time, or I saw this on, unfortunately, one of my debit cards one time, that you're seeing unexpected amounts popping up, and that is again, red flag, but that's kind of one of the most obvious ones. Like, goodness gracious, it shouldn't be this much, or this isn't right.
Right, or do you get that fake text message? Hey, did you make this purchase? And you almost have a panic attack, and they're getting so much better at their verbiage. Before, it was always misspelled words and that sort of thing. But those text messages are getting so good. And sometimes they're fake. They say, oh, you got to call or press this. And what's bad is that even us banks, we're sending you that text message.
But, exactly.
But call the bank. If you're when in doubt, call the bank and just be reassured. Oh, it's there. It's not. It's not right.
Exactly. But then also, I've seen this too. Payments done familiar vendors like, oh, who is this? And again, call the bank.
Right. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And then also, sometimes timing that doesn't match, issuing records. It's like, okay, I didn't write, I wrote this check this date, but it says this date, and then again, you might have a problem.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. No, that's exactly it. Again, it's that whitewashing that check and changing those things, and just changing the original check to, or reusing it. And especially, I've seen it where they'll take a picture of the check, because now that you can do that, you can make remote deposits with your check, and then the next thing you know, the fraudster is depositing into a bank. So just be aware of that too.
Yeah. Also, Lisa, what everyday habits or processes can businesses help businesses, I should say, reduce the risk of check fraud? Yeah.
Again, that use the technology, and I know a lot of times. People, especially the smaller business, they don't like change. They really don't. And but it is such a simple process. And again, the banks take advantage of us. We're there to help you. We want to protect you because it's protecting us. Think about it. The more money you have, the more money we have.
Yeah, exactly.
So so I can't, the banks, we really want to help you. And I know I really like to hold the hands to my customers, and even going there, showing them the process. It's really a very simple process. And it's basically accept, decline. It's that easy. It's just that easy. And if you're already using online banking or digital banking, it's just another step that can save you hundreds. I mean, it can save you thousands, tens of thousands, depending on. The average. I was just reading the other day. The average when a business gets hit, it's $19,000. That's the average. Yeah. Oof. The check fraud that
like you said, the way businesses it goes nowadays, you can't afford to obviously absorb that.
Right.
So
right. Exactly.
Lisa, what makes, I guess, business checks more vulnerable to fraud than consumers often realize?
Yeah, I think they may not just. Yeah, maybe they just don't realize how easy it is to get the checks.
Yeah.
And again, if you can automate, the more you can automate, the better off you are. And again, it's that old adage, oh, it can't happen to me.
Yeah.
It's not a matter, honestly, today, it's not a matter of if, it's really a matter of when, because it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just,
sadly, yes.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. And also now, if a business check or a fraudulent, or a business thinks, I should say, a fraudulent check may have gone through, Lisa, what should they do right away?
Oh, call the bank right away.
Yep.
And usually, again, I always know when I get a call from somebody, this is when it always happens. It's 4:45 Friday and it's 70 degrees out. And I always know when I get a call from my business customer, there's something up. It is something wrong.
Yeah.
It's almost like the fraudster knows when this is going to happen. But call the bank right away as soon as you can.
Yeah.
That's the most important. And so that way we can stop it. When the check does hit the bank, you only have 24 hours to a business day, 24 hours to return it. So even if it hits your account on Saturday or Sunday, that's really Monday's business.
Yeah.
So we are able to return that the next day, that next Tuesday.
Sure.
So the checks have such a small window of opportunity for us to return that.
Yeah. Well, Lisa, lots of great info for us here this morning. Lisa Martins, Treasury Operations at Heritage Bank here in Wilmer. And bottom line, Lisa, people have questions or businesses have questions, obviously, to give you guys a call, like we've been saying throughout. Call the bank if you have any questions or concerns, or maybe looking how to educate themselves. You guys can help, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. We'd love to.
All right. Well, Lisa, thanks for coming to be with us today.
Well, thank you.
Take care.
Yep.